Hello friends, welcome to Rhythm Review, a series I've been meaning to start since January. So this is how it's gonna go down. First, I'm gonna introduce the game. Then, I'm gonna talk about what I liked about it. Third, I'm gonna talk about what I didn't like about it. And then fourth, I'm gonna give it a rating. I didn't really know how to do this, so I think I'm gonna go with the My system of rating, which goes from perfect, great, good, and miss. Okay, let's go. So for my first review, I'm going to be talking about GARUMETARU. GARUMETARU is about 5 high school girls in Kichijouji, Tokyo, who are in a metal music club and have to defend the world from cephalopodic aliens with the power of metal. According to the back cover, the title comes from the phrases gachimetaru and yurumetaru, which are like serious metal and less serious metal. Also, garu sounds a bit like gyaru, which sounds like girl, or gal. It's the first Switch game made by DMM Games, and its selling points is that you use the Joy-Cons as drumsticks. So what do I like? I like the concept. High school girls defending the Earth from aliens, very good. The character designs are also really nice. The girls all look distinguishable and easily recognizable without looking too strange. Their skirts are a decent length, which is a breath of fresh air. And there's no big booby characters, which is also pretty great. The UI is nice, the menu design is good, the cutscenes are in the form of a manga, which flows really nice and has good energy. The music is also really good. There's 13 songs, I believe, that were made especially for this game, and they all sound really solid. Now, what I don't like. There was too much reading. It felt more like an RPG than a rhythm game, and the aliens spoke exclusively in katakana, which I think is sort of an established trope for aliens in Japanese media, but it made it impossible to read. There was also no voice acting, and some of the conversations take place in like a messaging app, and sometimes there's like dialogue options and choices, but they're timed, and I didn't always have enough time to read both options and then pick which one I thought would be better. Also, it feels like a dating sim. There's this system where the activities you choose to do sort of like affect your stats, and you can level up your friendships with the other girls and unlock special dialogue with them, which I didn't care about at all. And also because I was too busy trying to level up these stats, I didn't realize there was like a practice mode until like the very end of the game, because by going into practice you don't get any stats, so I kind of always thought, what's the point of doing that? Turns out you can practice the song that you're about to do. Who could have known? Also, I hate the protagonist. I don't mean the girl, I mean the boy who's never named. So at the beginning of the story, the protagonist and Rinko, the girl, are abducted by the octopus aliens, and the protagonist is put into Rinko's body, and while Rinko's consciousness is still in there, only protagonist can control her body, meaning he can't play the drums, but he still plays them well enough for no one to realize he's not Rinko. This all just seems like they thought that a male audience wouldn't want to play a female character, so they decided to make it palatable by having the unnamed protagonist be in control of Rinko's body while still having cute high school girls. And I don't think it's ever explained why the aliens did this, and what happened to the protagonist's body. Like, is no one looking for him? And you know there's a scene where he wakes up and he's like, oh, why do I have boobs? And he also gets really weird about like having to bathe and shower and go to an all-girls school. Basically, he's a wimp. Furthermore, the story is bad. I am very in favor of the idea of high schoolers saving the world with metal, but I'm gonna real quick summarize the story for you. Aliens show up and put the protagonist in Rinko's body. The aliens speak to them telepathically and tell them that they have to fight in 2 days' time. The protagonist and Rinko's metal club defeat the aliens. This is repeated several times. Then the aliens blow up the Earth, but at the last minute they're transported to safety by nice aliens. And then some other aliens show up and they get on their spaceship and go through a black hole to defeat the bad aliens, and then the Earth is put back together through the power of everyone's memories, and then it's all a dream, but the protagonist and Rinko still remember everything, and then the aliens are back and the protagonist and Rinko are in each other's body again, and then Rinko says she's in love with the protagonist, and then they play some metal music and then the game's over. Did I get the bad ending? Let's talk about the motion controls. The Switch is known for its good motion controls, and yet, the controls in GARUMETARU are awful. I couldn't get the joysticks to reliably respond. I tried all sorts of ways of holding them and moving around, but nothing seemed to work. In the end, I set it to touchscreen mode so that I could just finish the game, but then it felt like an iPhone game that I'd paid 4,000 yen for. And it didn't even matter that the input was so awful because the scores you needed to beat the game were so low. It's like they knew their game was bad. I just waved the Joy-Cons around most of the time and managed to beat the game. Like, they failed on their main selling point of the game. And also they released a 1,000 yen DLC on day one. I'm like, just put it in the game. In conclusion, I had really high hopes for this game, and now I'm really sad. Its concept was really strong, and I feel like it had a lot of potential, but the execution was not great. I'm going to give it a good on the rating scale because I feel like it's still playable as a game and probably there are some people who will enjoy it. And also it feels kind of harsh to give the first game I review a miss. I'm hoping they'll patch or update the game in the future to fix the Joy-Con input issues, but I'm not holding my breath or anything. Also, Taiko no Tatsujin is coming out for Switch later in the year, and the control scheme seems to be pretty similar, so here's hoping that that actually works. Anyway, this has been my first rhythm review. Tell me in the comments if you liked it, or if you didn't, or if this is content that you want to see at all. Maybe if you really like my stuff, you could follow me on Patreon or something like that to support me. I would be very appreciative. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.